welcome back to the shed. So, sorry I haven't put a video up for a couple of weekends now. Couple of reasons. I haven't really progressed on anything with the hardtail. I was kind of setting up getting the stuff ready for the MIG welder, which I haven't used for a long time. I need to get some gas and some liner. I'm having a bit of wire feed issues as well. So and then obviously I've got to practice me welding because it's still a little bit amateur hour. So that took up a bit of time. I did a few extra little bits and bobs to the America that a few of you have seen and know about. Changed the bars, some built well Frisco bars, and I sprayed up the cocktail shaker exhaust as well. So a few little bits and bobs which weren't really worthy of any videos or updates. But on to this, we're probably only going to be a little short video because it's kind of been a bit of a kind of quick, not changing plans, but it's basically exhaust system. That was something I was conscious of, but I thought was probably going to happen a bit later on down the line. Whilst I was at Machine Mart, our local tool supply place, last weekend, a Bonneville went past and it had the British Customs slash cut TT exhaust on it, and it sounded and looked very, very nice indeed, and I took that as a bit of a sign because that was obviously the exhaust system I'd seen that I really liked. Yeah, so very nice in the flesh. Still haven't been able to really find anywhere that sells it in the UK, so it probably would have to be imported. But again, even though I want to raise the bar a little bit and just do the very best I can on this bike, you know, there is also a line that I'll draw on what I'll spend on certain things, and at the best part of, I mean, you're probably looking at almost £1,000 all in, you know, maybe 800-900 quid, I don't know, but that kind of figure for an exhaust system, which to me is still just, you know, incredibly expensive. I could possibly get one custom made for that as well, but you know, these are all things that have been banging around in my head. I was also looking online and I saw, I think it's called a Westlake Sidewinder Shorty. Triumph Online or Square Deals do that, and that was a very nice one. The front downpipes were very kind of out and clean looking, very much like the British Customs one, but it was a kind of a bit more of an unusual 2-into-1, and then sort of a short exit on the left side rather than the right. A lot were on the right hand side, and that was at about the £280 mark or something like that, which is kind of where I would be more comfortable in sort of spending on an exhaust system. So that was kind of like, maybe, you know. Obviously I've been thinking about the Tech 2-into-1, doing that bit and where it finished before it goes into the kind of trackery shorty exhaust, changing that. But I kind of want to move away from I mean, it's a very, what's the way of putting it? It's a beautiful exhaust system, it's great, but it's a very recognisable, it's like the Arrow, it's like a lot of 2-into-1s go on that side. I wanted something just a little bit different perhaps for this one, and I wanted it very simple. That's what everything I'm doing on this, I want it to look very simple, fuss free. So whilst I was just looking through the internet, occasionally I'll go through eBay and just have a look, and just by luck an exhaust system came up that I hadn't considered at all really, primarily because to buy them new they are, again, we're looking at the €900 mark, I think it is, very expensive. But this one was on the auction and didn't hit the reserve, but whilst I emailed the guy afterwards because I won it, found out what his reserve was, did a little bit of bartering, and ended up with almost £1,000's worth of exhaust system delivered for £200, which I was quite happy with. When I show you the exhaust system, I've taken a bit of a gamble because it wasn't quite where I thought I was going to go. Might be a few issues, don't know yet. Obviously anything I put on this now, because it's not a stock Bonneville, it's like a different frame, is going to need to be modified. So yeah, but I've gone for it. I thought worst case situation, if it doesn't work on this bike, it might work on the America. If it doesn't work on the America, it'll definitely work on Jen's Bonneville, because that's kind of still stock in the mounting places. But enough waffling, let's have a look at it. It's the Maz Engineering, the Maz Mojave, I think, or yeah, Mojave, I think. It looks like the desert, but it's not spelled with a J, it's got a H in it, I think. Yeah, well, that's the exhaust system we got. So I'll have a little look at it, and then we'll, shall I show you it now, or shall we just stick it straight on the bike and have a look? There's not much to it, it's only kind of the downpipes. It's 2x2, it's just like the downpipes into the silencers, some heat guards. It's going to take me like a second just to put the bolts on, so I'm just going to stick it on the bike and then show you it, and we'll talk around it. So there we go, that's it on the bike, the Maz Mojave exhaust system. And I really like it. I like the simplicity of it. I like the fact that it's high level. Actually, I wasn't planning on going that route, but obviously you can see I've got a couple of issues, and I need to kind of mock up where I'm going to be sitting, because I'm going to have to look whether or not my inner thigh is going to be melted with it up there. Now, I'm not a million miles away from where you would be sat kind of normally on the Bonneville, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue, but I just want to get a seat set up just to have a little look. Obviously we've got the heat shields as well, which are going to help. I'm not sure if I'll run with these heat shields. I didn't like them originally. They just looked a little more clutter. I was thinking perhaps I'll wrap them or just do something different on a heat shield, but they're actually kind of growing on me a little bit now, so not sure. I'll give you a little scooch in. So I just love the real simple, clean lines and bends of this exhaust system. Exposes everything nicely as well. It's all open. Stainless steel, as you can see, there is a little bit of discoloration from the wrap, but hell, I'm not fussed about that. I'm either going to Scotch Brite it up or spray it black. We might even end up changing a few bits. I mean, I'm looking at it and I'm quite liking where they are. I was thinking if maybe that is going to be too close to the leg. That's where your end pipes sort of join in. Maybe putting in some curved pieces, bringing it down. Or maybe even going into a 2-in-1. Obviously the tune I've got for the ECU for this, because I thought I was going to be running the tracker exhaust and the pod filters, is a 2-in-1. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to have to play around with that as well. Be interesting to see actually when Jen gets back from work on the tech system what the circumference of the pipes are, because that goes from 2-in-1, and what the distancing is, because as a link pipe that might be quite interesting to go into one. I'm not sure if that's a bit heavy, but then I don't know. Are they a bit long out there? But then again, obviously I don't know what it sounds like in the flesh. We've got baffles that just bolt in at the end there. It is, it isn't just a bog standard cheapy baffle system. There does seem to be a bit of thought gone into it. Obviously the mounting lug here, which would have gone on the rear shock, that's going to have to go. So I'll probably end up having to cut and grind that off. So you can see why I wasn't particularly bothered about the finish of the pipes, because they're going to be kind of mutilated a little bit anyway to get them to fit. I quite like where they're at. If I was to stick with this as is, and there's enough clearance, which gut's telling me at the moment I'm quite liking, I've got 2 points here that I can make a bracket up for, and I'd rather have a bracket that clamps onto the frame rather than make a permanent mounting point here, just in case I decide to change the exhaust system at a later date. I don't want to be left with that open and then a big mounting point on there. But this is all thinking as I'm going along. As I said, I've only just put this exhaust system on, so you're literally getting the brain splurge as I'm thinking about it. But I'll probably pop some pictures of this up out in the garden with the tank on as well to give it a bit more of a better idea. So yeah, if I was going to change the exhaust systems, these are on little, funnily enough, they're on little standoff pillars, which are basically just the stainless versions of those that I was using, like the captive nuts, and they're just sort of tack welded on and it bolts onto that. So if I wanted to, I'll show you some, I'll take these off in a minute and put some pictures up. If I wanted to remove that and have much cleaner looking pipes, then I'd have to cut those off and grind them. So again, just to show you why I wasn't too bothered about the finish on there. Maybe would I get rid of that? I don't know. You know, these are all sort of little details at the moment, but yeah, I'm quite happy with that. So what I want to do first of all, before I make any decisions, is kind of try and mock up a seat and a height. Obviously I haven't got a seat at the moment, but mock something up that allows me to sit on the bike in the kind of roughly the correct position where I will be, and then I can have a look at whether or not it's going to interfere with my leg too much. Right, so slightly crude and cobbled together, but it should do the job. So I've spaced it so we've got about 2 inches on there distance from the posts, bottom of the post, so it probably will sit a little bit taller than that, and then I've just cut a bit of foam out, and see, that's not going to stay squished down there, but I think that's very approximately, possibly a bit bigger than I'd have, but it's kind of the height I'd like. I'm not sure what the distance on, if I'm going for the springs or the like the scissor springs or the curled springs, not sure yet, but I'm not really sure what the distance is on those, but that'll give us a rough idea, I think. So I'll just park my arse on it and we'll have a little look. Right, so if I give you a view from where I'm sat, absolutely fine. That's going to be sort of nowhere really. And the closest bit, I mean, I don't know if you can see it from there, that's how close, you know, got a couple of inches away. I'd have to go some probably to actually touch on the exhaust, and even then, you know, we got the heat shield there as well, so I don't think I'm going to have any leg burning issues. My main bit was underneath my thigh. That's kind of the view clearance I'm going to have around the leg. At the moment I'm trying to hold a camera and hold the bike up as well, so I'm pretty confident that that's going to be okay. I'm thinking even if this was fixed onto your standard scrambler, you know, your feet position is still going to be in the same place, so that seems to work for them. So yeah, my main concern was how much of my thigh heel might be close to that, but yeah, as you can see, even with the seat, and I suspect it might be a touch higher than this, but I've got plenty of room. Nice crotch shot for you there. Yeah, so I'm pretty certain that this is going to work in some guys. I mean, my first concern was to make sure it's not going to be burning my backside or my balls, or the inside of my thigh, so that's okay. To say the seat might, I mean, I quite like the line of the seat there, so that's probably something one of the things I want to work on next is actually my riding position, get that sort of sorted out, but that's approximately where it's going to be, obviously, and approximate height, so that I'm happy with. in terms of looking at it, I don't think that's overly far out. I don't think it looks too heavy on that side. I mean, I could play around and change the heat shields. I mean, that's completely open to what I want to do, whatever I want to do with it. This tab here obviously will have to disappear, and then I need to work out how I'm going to mount or secure this end. I don't think Velcro is going to really be a long-term choice, but so some sort of system for that. But yeah, I think as I said, I took a bit of a gamble on the exhaust because I hadn't really thought of going this way, but then I quite like that. I like the fact that you can kind of not be dictated to, but some decisions can you can go a certain way just through circumstance, and this is one of them. But yeah, I don't even think I want to cut the pipes down or anything, or change the angle. No, they're kind of working for me like that. Not really where I thought I was going to end up being, but kind of happy accident, if you like. But I also need to now. It's made me decide I want to work on the seat. Got to get the seat sorted. I'm not sure how I'm going to go about that yet. Whether, I mean, it would be quite easy to buy a sprung saddle. I would quite like to make one as well. I'm going to have to look into just kind of costs and what I can do, and what materials I can source cheaply to make a good job of it, or whether or not it is going to be easy just to buy one or find a nice one that just suddenly speaks to me. But I think that's probably next on the menu, so I'll try and spend this week working out a plan of action there, and then hopefully next weekend we'll do a bit with the seat and a bit on the old exhaust system, work out how we're going to mount that, and happy days. So that's it. More of an update really than anything, not a very long video I'm afraid, but at least a little step closer. And yeah, one of those things that I wasn't really sure where I was going to go with that. It's kind of like being ticked. I'm pretty much 100% certain that I'm going to run with those exhausts on there. I quite like the look. So yeah, brilliant. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Take care, and I'll see you next time.